Belt drives are best because I have a belt. Dave, you can't write that. That is not a valid argument. Did you do any research for today's episode? Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than finding a reliable KTM, but not by much. Final drives don't really get the attention they deserve. I mean, they are literally responsible for taking all of that juicy power the engine makes and transferring it to the road. Chain drive versus belt drive versus shaft drive. Which one is the best? There's obviously no answer to that question since they all have different uses, but one of them has a dirty secret. Stick around. To understand the differences between the three easier, we are going to concentrate on three different categories. Efficiency, how efficient is the final drive in actually transferring power to the road? Safety, what happens when it fails? And ease of use, how easy is it to actually live with? Contrary to popular belief, belt drives made out of leather were used on motorcycles before chains. Today, belts are made of very strong synthetic materials, strengthened with steel wires and sometimes coated with Kevlar on the outside. While standard belts can last between 30 to 40,000 kilometers, the more expensive reinforced ones can go in excess of 100,000 kilometers. They are mostly used on cruisers and electric bikes. Don't need to be lubricated, they are basically maintenance free and are much quieter than chains. As far as efficiency is concerned, belt drives lose between 9 and 15% of the power provided by the engine. They must be run in clean environments. I mean, you're not gonna see a belt drive on a dirt bike because debris will damage the belt. Highly unlikely, but if a belt does break while you're riding, there is no way to fix it on the side of the road, so you're basically stuck there. Chain drives are the most popular final drive system found on motorcycles. Out of the three, chains are the cheapest to manufacture, cheapest to replace, and are the most efficient at transferring power, with only 1 to 4% lost along the way. So, if top performance is of utmost importance, the chain drive is the only way to go. They do, however, require regular cleaning and lubrication around every 400 to 500 kilometers, depending on your riding conditions. If you ride on dirt, you obviously need to clean your chain a lot more than if you only do back roads. Modern chains are internally lubricated from the factory, so they only require cleaning and lubrication of the exposed O-rings. In time, an effect called elongation occurs on chains. They become loose and retensioning is required. Again, contrary to popular belief, this is not the metal in the chain actually stretching, but materials on the rollers and sprockets wearing out, introducing play in the system. The good news is that just last year, Regina came out with the world's first maintenance-free chain, with BMW being the first to use it on some of their sport bikes. This chain uses a very hard coating material, that's what she said, which doesn't wear away over time, so retensioning is no longer an issue, and neither is lubrication. All you need to do is clean it when it gets dirty. Highly unlikely with today's technology, but if a chain does break while you're riding, injury can be caused to the rider's leg. The chain can jam the rear sprocket, locking the rear wheel. All bad things. Out of the three, however, fixing a broken chain on the side of the road, or in the wilderness of Mongolia, for example, can be done. So this also means the chain drive is the most reliable out of the three systems as well. And lastly, good old shaft drives. They are the most expensive to manufacture, they are the heaviest, and apart from that new Regina chain, they are the most maintenance free. You just need to change the final drive oil when you service your bike, keep the inner splines greased up, and a shaft drive should last for the lifetime of the bike. Impervious to the outside environment, they are a true ride and forget system, but they do have one very dirty secret. They are the most inefficient out of the three systems, with anything in between 20 to 25% of the bike's power being lost from the engine to the rear wheel. So you're never going to see these on any performance sport bikes. Shaft drives are mainly used on premium, large capacity, adventure and touring bikes with large amounts of torque. If you do not keep them properly serviced and they do break while you're riding, just like belt drives, you are stuck wherever you are, since MacGyvering any sort of repair on them is almost impossible. So there we go, cons and pros of all three systems. All three have good and bad sides. You're not going to see a belt drive on a dirt bike and you're not going to see a shaft drive on a super sport bike, but chain drives seem to be pretty much everywhere. If there's anything else you'd like to know or have anything to add about today's episode, the comment section below is the place for you. I'd love to read your comments. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our Patreons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.